I feel like now's the time, it's now or never. Build this schooner that I've been dreaming of for many years. I have the timber to make a start. I've got enough timber to build the boat, and certainly got the energy and the enthusiasm to make a good start.
It's a lovely bit of wood.
To the rabbit, okay?
And then I'm joining the...
Yeah.
Would change the angle of the blade.
In terms of actually financing the remains of the build, because there's the ballast to buy, there's the sails, the rig, the engine, the fittings, the fastenings, everything else that you know was stretched beyond my purse. It's unknown exactly how we will get there, but my intention is to have this boat built and sailing in time for the 2027 Fastnet race.
What's the situation with the Fastnet?
Okay, well that is, yeah, because the timeline for making the Fastnet is getting rapidly shorter. I think the only way that could happen now would be we would need to find a buyer within the next month, and we would be going hell for leather. I mean, we would have to have people working late shifts, weekends, but it is still just achievable. But yeah, it's getting. I mean, it would be an absolute race in its own right now. We've been working at compared to a professional pace, we've been working quite leisurely with myself and volunteers. So now we would have to double down and go, faster than a standard professional rate. We'd have to have people working overtime and yeah, really gunning it. It is possible. I think anything's possible with the right finances and the right people, and I think it's an exciting enough project that finding the boat builders to actually come and work on it wouldn't be too big a problem. But yeah, it would have to happen very soon. A buyer would have to come very soon. yeah, of course there's risk entailed in taking on a project like this, and you taking it on, of course you want to see it to completion, and there is uncertainty around how, the next stage and how that goes forward. But I really think that anybody who were to come into the workshop and who'd been thinking of a boat of that size and type, if they were to come into the workshop and to see it, I genuinely think they'd fall in love with it, and in the way that I have, and that's what I'm hoping for. And I really see no reason that it won't. I really believe that someone's going to come and find it and fall in love with her and take her on and see her to completion. So how soon that is, can't be certain of that, but I think now's the time to make an effort to show her to the world, because she's been hiding in a shed in Cornwall being steadily built, and now she needs an outing. She needs to be seen, and someone will fall for her, I'm sure.
I have to mark those reference lines on the front end of the plank and the back end of the plank independently from each other, so that when I come to cutting the scarves, I know those lines have to align on both planks.
Yeah.
And then the scarves I can draw one scarf onto the other.
Yeah.
Using those reference lines, and that'll make a perfect fit between the scarves. So I'll just check that you've got that back end fitted on the starboard side properly, and if we have, I'll do the same as this. So that's frame 3, 2.5.
Vamos pra batucada, bater tambor, toque do atabaque e do agogô. Tambor mandou chamar. Tambor mandou chamar.
Yeah, come on, if you can squeeze past the dinghy there and just bring it all the way in. Rest it on that end trestle. Amazing walking plank. Like a centipede. Alright, thanks. That's great. So I can. Right, so you guys all need another job. If you can come up here, yeah. And you as well, Sian. And then we want to go along, and you see this edge here it's been trimmed back with a Stanley knife, yeah. But there's still bits that are sticking out, and I reckon you just want to go along this edge.
We're at the stage where we're getting very, very close to completing the hull and deck. So we've just 2 planks left to put in the hull, and the subdeck, so the yellow cedar subdeck is now laid, and we're sheathing that. The coverboards have been completed but haven't been laid down. So it's really just a couple of planks to put in, finishing touches to the deck, caulking, fairing, putting, painting the hull, and then she'll be hull and deck to this. I mean, well, there is the final deck layer to put on, but I don't feel like I need to do that immediately. And once those elements are complete, which I'm anticipating within the next month, then really it's at a perfect stage for somebody to come and really make their mark on her and make decisions about the interior, to choose the wood types and the layout of the interior, and to spec the systems and the rigging, and you know, make their own mark on the boat and really make it their own.
Yeah, all right. Do you want to take it round then? And this end's got to go through the glory hole first. Yeah.
Yeah. It's me. You again. Come back. All we want. There you want here.
Smells so nice.
It's lovely that cedar, isn't it?
You know when you go for when you go out for dinner at like a curry and you get lemon wipes at the end?
You think it smells like that?
It smells like that.
It's funny, isn't it, how everybody thinks... I think it smells a bit like dirty bong water.
Like what?
Dirty bong water?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
When you got the lemoniest lemon.
Curve going down, so you've got it the wrong way around there. It's the other way around, yeah? We'll get it kind of close. I want to get on a... Well, right, that's too far. Back. Yeah, okay, about there. Right, now get it onto the frames. Yeah. Can you get it sitting on the frames?
Yeah.
Okay, to you a little bit, just an inch. Okay, a little bit more. Yeah. Okay, all right, about there. All right, Jamie, do you want to get a clamp on there? I've got this held. Yeah. My son is up. We don't need any more at the moment. No. I just want to get this in position, be happy that we're the right way. Yeah, I need a block on the end so I don't damage it.
Yeah, let's bring it in.
Now, if you could do me a favour, come here and give this a sort of a shove down that way. Yeah. Or maybe even we could start to get a wedge in.
The dirty wedges.
Yeah, you could start wedging, I think. Yeah. Just need another this clamp. Pretty sure that's a good fit. Let's get a wedge in here and see if it will close up. Yeah, that's a good fit. Happy with that.
Do you want to knock that one in?
Yeah, I could do with something on this edge, just protecting that edge. We get a smaller wedge as well. Keep on working with the wedges and the clamps this way now.
Yeah. So we get one in there and then clamp that again.
This one's just loose.
Any good clamps?
Yeah, you don't need so many clamps so close together. They, like I was saying, like every sort of 3 frames is probably fine. Okay, so like on this one, that one, yeah. Otherwise, it's just going to run out of clamps. They don't need to be so many. All right. And like, you see the positioning of the clamps is important so that it's clamping the edge that's wanting to pull away. Yeah?
Okay.
I can honestly say my favourite part of the build is sitting down in the sunshine with the boat building interns and my employees when they've worked on it at the end of a week, feeling like we've really done something. You know, we've covered good ground, we've made some good progress on the boat, we've been able to see her coming together, and there's a massive satisfaction in that, and the shared experience of having some banter and knowing that we've all worked on it together, and you know, actually genuinely tired, gonna really enjoy that pint thirsty at the end of the week, and looking forward to a break and then getting back fresh the next week. That's the greatest joy for me.
Did you run here? Yeah, you were like breathing.
Cheers.
So what? He's one of the three musketeers.
He's like
He's the fourth musketeer.
He's the fourth musketeer.
Whoa.
Sounds like.
Or maybe was it anyway, one of the musketeers, the most important one.
Yeah.
It was found buried in a crypt under the altar, which that position is always reserved for people that are royalty or close to royalty, because he was a royal guard with a musket ball held with his skeletal hand clasped around a musket ball on his chest.
That's pretty cool.
And something else signifying.
How'd they figure out it was him?
All for one and one for all.
Oh my God! Get it! Where's the spade?
And also have quiet moments when, at the end of the day, everybody's gone home, and I have to think about what's needed for the next day. I had to make a bit of a plan about what people will be doing on the following day, and I get to just be on my own in the workshop looking at her lines and thinking, wow, she's beautiful. So those are the two best things about it. The original plans were drawn up in the 1920s, and they show a layout where the galley and the crew quarters were up forward, and there was the saloon and the states room for the owner, which is a much more kind of traditional and slightly segregated layout. There was the interior plans were redrawn in the 50s, and they show a more modern kind of cruising layout with the galley closer to the cockpit, and then the saloon, and then shower. Going forward you've got the galley, the saloon with a wood burner in it, the shower and heads, and then the states room or the master's quarters up forward with a double. And then the crew would be in pilot berths in the main saloon. So there's two very different options there, and I think most people now would go for the latter option. But there's scope within that for some modifications to height of sole and whether there would be fixed pilot berths or. I mean, there's room for another berth as well, and choices about whether that prioritising extra berths or nav station, and there's a lot of things like choice of materials for the interior, choice of what gets painted, what gets varnished, storage, and also the systems within it as well. What kind of navigation gear, what kind of lighting. Shelving, storage, and the kind of fittings and fixtures that the detail in those that people might like to choose.
Could we talk about price?
Yeah, we can talk roughly about price. So my best estimate for the boat finished in capable of racing, but with a absolutely rudimentary interior. So in time for the Fastnet, we're looking at around 650,000 mark, and then with fully fitted out interior, it's more like 850. But I mean, these are estimates and would depend very much on the specification. So I think that represents extremely good value, given comparable sized boats in the sort of comparable sized new boats that are on the market. Given that it's 100% craftsman built and made from the finest timber, and an absolute one-off, unique piece custom built for an individual, I think that represents extremely good value, and probably only possible because of the people, because of the nature of the business that I'm running and the kind of completely dedicated, enthusiastic people that work for me.
I'm going to go on drilling with the flathead bit to get the counterbore, and this bit to do the primary hole for the screw, and then it needs to have that, so it gets the counterbore, it gets the primary drill, which I'll do, and then they need to be followed with this just to that depth. And that's not to the depth of the bottom of the counterbore, it's to the depth of the plank. Yeah. Okay. And then they need to be followed on with screws, which are these ones, right? You don't want it to be like driving, like pulling the screw into the wood, because it's relatively soft, this wood. So you don't want it pulling right. You want to go in until the head's just below the surface of the wood, just. Yeah, and that will have pulled it in tight. Okay. So I've got to get ahead of you a bit anyway here. Yeah, so yeah, if you're just getting it tightened down, yeah.
So what's going on, Ben?
Well, we're just getting in the penultimate planks. These ones will have the bilge stringer behind them, so once this is in, we'll be able to fit the bilge stringer and bolt the bilge stringer through to this plank. And then once that's done, we've got the last plank, or what I like to call the whisky plank, to go in. It's the one that seals the hull, and is always celebrated with a few friends and a dram of whisky. So we're nearly there, closing the boat in. On Friday we have 3 regular volunteers: Mungo, Jamie, and Dexter. And Sian's here. She's been visiting from France. She's a friend of Remy, who also worked from l'Atelier de l'Enfer. She's been here for a month. She's leaving on Sunday, so it's her last day, sadly, but she says she may be back, so that's good. Yeah, we've got the regular guys who come on a Friday. It's really fun. We get a lot done, and we have pasties and pints and have a bit of banter at the end of the day, so that's nice. I always look forward to Friday. Yeah, making good progress. It's amazing what you can do with so many hands. Getting the planks on seems to fly together. I can't keep up with them.
The camera shy. Well, I suppose the best go for a pant.
What time is it?